The story of John Henry is the story of an incredibly strong man who worked on the railroad. One day he was challenged to beat a steam-powered drilling machine in a race to see who could drill through a mountain faster, him or the machine. As the man versus machine battle stretched out, John Henry came through the other side first. The only problem was he had worked too hard and died from it. John Henry is not the only person to have challenged a machine. Quinn Holden has a very similar story of his own. Every day, Quinn Holden wakes up at 5 a.m. to go to swimming practice. After swimming practice, he attends his classes and gets his weightlifting done for the day. His days are relatively normal, but they could be worse. When Quinn was 15, he bravely challenged a train to a battle of speed.
So baseball had just gotten over and we were all headed to our cars, but there's a train coming by that day. I decided not to wait for the train like everybody else. Threw my bag underneath the train and it hit the side. Fell on the tracks. And when I went in to grab it, I got hit by the train.
How could anybody survive such an impact from a train? Could it have been Quinn's sheer will to live? Or does he just have a thicker skull than the average person? The answer is his competitiveness. As Quinn is a collegiate swimmer at South Dakota State University, he has a killer instinct when it comes to winning.
I can't lose. It's just not in me.
You suck so bad.
Quinn is so competitive that his competitive life even extends outside of sports. It could range from a normal video game to even simply drinking water the fastest. Even after the baseball game, Quinn was still very eager to compete. As everybody was waiting for the train to pass, Quinn wanted to get over the tracks before everybody else did. When he threw his baseball bag under the train, it hit something in the middle, causing it to fall into the middle of the tracks. Quinn had a decision to make: reach for it or wait for the train to pass. As competitive as he was, he could not ignore the challenge with a small crowd around. It only fueled his fire even more.
Couldn't just back down. Everybody was watching me.
Quinn's decision could have proven to be fatal, but unlike John Henry, Quinn battled the machine and didn't die, which is a minor victory in itself. Quinn was hospitalized for minor injuries, including a concussion. 2 days later, he was released back into the public. Quinn did not win the Battle of Speed like he had hoped, but in spirit, he went home with the W. Quinn never got a medal or a trophy for his win over the train, for obvious reason. He shouldn't have been messing around the train tracks in the first place. But he still carries his moral victory around with him in his heart. He had survived a hit from a train and knows how lucky he is to be alive. Quinn's luck is more abundant than the average person's. Nobody should be playing around the railroad tracks, ever. Quinn is truly a lucky person to be alive with us today. But with Quinn's moral victory over the train, he can continue his normal competitive life with a very interesting story to tell.